Hey, remember that YouTube Rewind thing?
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Well, as we stare down the barrel of 2022, fearing whatever the hell humans will face this year, I currently hear Jurassic Park's on the cards, which might be fun, right? I thought it might be worth taking a look back over the last year of The Division 2 and the world of The Division, looking at some of the highlights of the year, the ups, the downs, the wins, and the heartbreak. Hello and welcome, I'm Abrax and this is my Division 2 Rewind for 2021. But first, if you enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more content. And a big thank you to my supporters over on Patreon, more on how you can support at the end of the video. It feels like this year for The Division 2 kicked off around Feb when we finally got the long-awaited limited time event codenamed Nightmare, bringing unique mechanics, earnable rewards, and a dark horror theme. Just kidding, we got an apparel event. On Feb 2nd, TU 12.1 dropped and brought with it the Resident Evil 25th Anniversary Apparel Event, something that was quite polarizing for some players, with some people finding this kind of crossover a little bit cheesy, but I quite liked it. We got some interesting looking outfits and possibly the creepiest mask since the pig thing from The Division 1. I mean, seriously, look at this thing. Even though the outfits from the apparel event look pretty good, this event did come as a disappointment to many, with Codename Nightmare originally being announced as a limited time gameplay event, only to have the majority of the actual event called off. We also saw the improved global event reanimated, fittingly alongside the Resident Evil apparel event, with the green clouds being changed from damaging agents to actually healing them, which I thought made for some pretty fun speedruns. A big piece of news from the 12.1 update was that next-gen consoles, the Xbox Series X and S, along with the PlayStation 5, finally got an update that brought 4K and 60 FPS. I'm a PC player, so I haven't played The Division 2 on either console, but I have friends that ranted about how great of a game changer this actually was. We also had optimization cost heavily reduced, which made everyone happy. Newer players think it's expensive now. It used to literally cost 75% more resources than it currently does. Seriously. Mid-Feb, we also got the bittersweet news that there's going to be new content developed for The Division 2 set to release later in 2021. You're probably thinking, bittersweet? Surely new content is a good thing, right? Well, yeah, new content means the game had a future in development. But we also discovered at the same time in the same announcement that TU12 was supposed to be the last major update for the game, which had a lot of active agents like, what the f***? Since this was really the first we were hearing about this. This announcement was great news that new content was coming, but it also made things a little more unpredictable and less transparent than we thought. Later in Feb, we also got the news that Rawson Thrubber would be directing the coming Division movie over on Netflix, which is good news. He's worked on Red Notice, Central Intelligence, Skyscraper, and a bunch more, and seems to be a genuine fan of the franchise, which made a lot of players happy to see the movie is in good hands. Looking forward to hearing more about this and its eventual release. March rolled around and we found out that the plan for the year was to continue as seasons, but as reruns for those who missed out previously. So the first season, Season 5, was actually going to be a rerun of Season 1. This wasn't great, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. At the time, I remember saying it's better to have this than nothing, which I still stand by. We also got the news that Hamish Bode had left the Division team to work on other projects. This felt like the final nail in the coffin of the state of the game streams, which are definitely missed. Okay, May. May was big. Oh my god, was May big. In May, we received the huge news about the expansion of the Division universe, with the reveal of the Division Heartland, which will be a brand new free-to-play game set in the Division universe, along with a mobile game and a new novel. These, plus the new content coming for the Division 2 and a Netflix movie, meant that the future was looking pretty good for the franchise. June was the start of Season 6, which was a rerun of Concealed Agenda chasing down Schaefer, and we also saw the announcement of a Division audiobook series, Heart of Fire, directed and written by Casey Wayland, starring Battlestar Galactica's Katie Sackhoff as Hopkins, a firefighter turned Division agent activated to help with the dollar flu outbreak in New York City. Again, it was nice to see the world of the Division expanding and branching out into a true multimedia franchise. On to July. July was an odd month, because that was the month we got the X-Defiant announcement.
We're excited to share a first look at a project we're developing at Ubisoft San Francisco. This is our take on a multiplayer first-person shooter.
A new competitive arena shooter that smashes together a bunch of Ubisoft's IPs. I wasn't really going to mention this announcement in the video, but it does include a bunch of Division-ish stuff, like the Cleaners, the Outcasts, and a bunch of SHD tech in-game as skills. The other Ubisoft IPs it includes are Splinter Cell, Rainbow Six, and Ghost Recon. I still kind of find this an odd one and a weird use of Tom Clancy franchises. It's been quite quiet on X-Defiant news lately, but we're just going to have to see what happens with this game in the future. The audiobook Heart of Fire was also released in July on the 15th, which was awesome. September was a quiet month, with the only real thing going on was the start of Season 7, which was a rerun of the final season End of Watch, but it wasn't long until we got some news. Late October we got an update in the form of a short State of the Game article on the official Division 2 website, giving us a little news on what to expect for the future of the game. Apologising for the silence over the last few months and giving us a rough date for the new coming content and seasons, which was Feb 2022. Disappointing because I think quite a few players wanted to see it this year, but to most, it wasn't really a surprise. As a run-up to the new content, we were told we were also going to be getting monthly intelligence annexes, giving us news and updates on new features coming with the new content, with the first being the changes coming to specializations, which we received 2 days later. And going over the annexes, these were pretty interesting changes, and I think it gave a lot of people an idea of just how big some of these changes are going to be. And this was backed up further by the second intelligence annex in November, covering a whole new progression system, expertise, which allowed you to level up your expertise with specific items, increasing their power in your hands. Which was cool, I'm always up for a new grind, but at this point I think most players mainly wanted more information about the new game mode, saying what's the point of a whole new grind if it's just playing the same missions we already have for the last few years, which, to be honest, it's pretty understandable. Then in December, bad news struck. The new content, the game mode, the features had all been delayed until late 2022, and although there wasn't a specific date, many feared the worst. This news was dropped using an image on Twitter stating that the team wanted to deliver the best Division 2 experience for dedicated and newcomers alike, and to reach that goal they decided to delay the upcoming Apparel Event, game mode, and title update till a later date in 2022. This included a stop to the intelligence annexes and a cancelled public test server for the new changes. I'll be honest, at this point, this was what nobody wanted to hear and it was a heavy blow to the community, but a delay is better than a cancel, right? And something I've said before is I'd rather wait for something polished than receive something rushed and broken. Not all bad in December though, we did get TU14, even if I don't entirely know what happened to TU13. Like, seriously, did I miss something? I have to have missed something, right? Anyway, Title Update 14 brought back the winter items, the Santa Hunter mask, the Slayer snowball firing SMG, and a new gear mask, Chill Out, with no brand bonus but 2 mod slots, which is definitely unique. But unfortunately, I do think this was overshadowed by the earlier announcement. Yikes, that is a sad note to finish this year on, but let's look forward. The Division franchise has so much to come, including a whole new free-to-play game, expansions into new media growing the lore and world of the Division universe. Not you. Personally, I feel like the future is looking pretty bright for the Division, but there's a lot to come, and fingers crossed more to announce, but time will tell. If you're interested in any of the topics I've talked about here, check out the description in this video. If I've done a video on it, I will link it down there. Obviously, I haven't covered every single bit of news and gossip. If I had, this would have been a very long, slow video. But if there is anything you think I've missed, or anything you want to talk about, drop it in the comments, let's get a little nostalgic. If you enjoyed this video, giving it a like helps me battle the dreaded YouTube algorithm, and don't forget to subscribe for future content. And as always, a big thank you to my supporters over on Patreon. You're all awesome and the support means a lot. And if you would like to join them, you can support the channel for as little as £1 a month. You'll find the link for that in the description, along with my Twitter if you fancy following me over there. Have a great day, Happy New Year, and I will catch you in the next one.